MSB here, and it's time for part 2 of our budget deck breakdown featuring the Mage class. Today I'll be talking about an alternate card choice, and show how to play this deck against long game control healing decks like Priests. So, let's get started. I'll let this game footage of a Rush versus Rush match play while I explain something quickly. I've alluded to the fact that there are quite a few interchangeable cards in my budget decks, especially as your card collection expands, but never have two cards been so close in usefulness as the decision between putting either Raging Worgens or Wolf Riders into this deck. These two cards are virtually identical in overall power, but for vastly different reasons. The Worgen is more useful against healing decks, as you can use them to punish or prevent the 2 damage AoE that Priests and Paladins have, and is more resilient against Mages, Druids, and Rogues who can deal 1 damage at will. However, the Worgen is a horrible top deck draw in the late game, when you've inevitably lost board control, and I've straight up lost games by drawing it. Meanwhile, the Wolf Rider is a consistent, reliable 3 damage that could also help to kill off a Shield Master if you have an Arcane Missile or 2 in hand. In the end, I went with the Worgen because it flat out closes matches when you get to enrage him, and also makes your opponent invest more mana on removal instead of increasing their board position. Basically, if one isn't working for you in the current meta, just try the other. And now, back to the commentary. I mean, it's 1 mana. Just play your boar, or play your Leper Gnome, and let's get on with it. You know, it's always terrible, these sort of first turn delays. There you go, see, Leper Gnome. How hard was that? Okay, so what I want to do here is throw out my Mana Wyrm. Because at this point it's going to make him double card me. He would either Leper Gnome into it and then like Arcane Shot. And that way I'd be fine with that as a start, because then on turn 2 I would just throw out my Amani Berserker. So let's see what he does. Okay, Abusive Sergeant, that's fine. Is he going to trade? Perfect. Anytime you can get a Rush deck, which is, you know, Leper Gnome to Abusive Sergeant, that makes me think Rush. It's great when you get him to waste his resources. So now this is perfect. Amani Berserker, and then summon my Taunters. And now he's going to have a tough time getting through, because he doesn't have coins, so he can't multi-shot. And then next turn, maybe Arcane Explosion, maybe Fire Blast. I mean, whenever there's a 1 health troop, you normally want to clear it off the board. Even if you could, you know, say, deal 5 damage with your Amani Berserker. Okay, so that could be Misdirection, that could be Freeze Trap, could be an Explosive Trap as well. You know, maybe he's thinking I would Flame Blast my Amani Berserker and then attack in, but there's absolutely no chance on that. Yep, go ahead and Fire Blast this guy, charge in, let's see what it is.
Job's done.
Explosive Trap. Okay, now he takes 5. Yep, not too bad. That's 1/6 of his life. Done. And let's see if he has like an Arcane Shot to deal with this. Boy, he's sure hovering over it enough to know that he wants to deal with it. Okay, so using up another card from his Rush repertoire to trade off against my minions, which is great. I don't mind taking that too. So yeah, next turn will definitely be throwing out my Faerie Dragon and Flame Blasting him to the face. Let's see what he can bring out this time. 5 mana. Wolf Rider. I'm guessing he's going to shoot. Yeah, okay, so another Blue Gill Warrior. Okay, well, lucky him, draws 2 of those. That's fine. What else you got? You gonna shoot me? Nope. Wolf Rider? That's perfectly fine. Okay, yep, it's still trading off. So he's obviously a bit scared of my Rush deck, which is great. And yeah, I'll Flame Blast right to the face and draw 2 cards. And a Frostbolt and Sorcerer's Apprentice. Not too bad. So obviously we want to try and get ahead in damage. So drawing something like a Frostbolt, drawing things like Fireballs, that'd be great. So 19 and a Trap. Maybe Snipe? We'll see. Okay, so yeah, drop down this. And I really don't want him to use Eaglehorn Bow, so I'm going to freeze him in place and then Flame Blast him. Because I don't want to throw out another troop while that while that secret is in play. And let's see what he throws down now. I put him a bit on the defensive. You know, obviously if he had an Eaglehorn bow, he can't use it right now, which is great. Okay, gonna shoot me? Fine. That's obviously gonna be consistent. Okay. Yep, so let's swing in and see what it is. Misdirection. Okay, so I take 3. Misdirection can be really good. So, yep, drop down my Nightblade. Let's try and get ahead on this damage. And, no, I'm going to draw some more cards. I really do... Okay, good. Perfect. Fireball. I really needed the direct damage to get ahead of this guy. I can't keep taking damage because, you know, he could unleash the hounds or something and, you know, blow me out. So, I'm already down to 12. Okay. Well, that's... Okay, well, definitely now I'm going to Arcane Explosion. That's a no-brainer. This could be another misdirection, so... Oh, that's perfect. So, yeah, definitely going to throw out my 2 taunters. This means that I can swing in with my Sorcerer's Apprentice, and... Okay, good. Another misdirection. Hopefully he hits one of my taunters. Fantastic. Okay, and now you take 4 damage. And now what I want to do is put him within kill range. So, I am going to fireball him into the face. Because then with my Arcane Golem... and the damage that I have on the field with a Leper Gnome, I'll be able to finish him off. So, throw that out there, and then pow. So now even if he board wipes, I'd still be fine because 2 damage from the Leper Gnome, and then my Arcane Golem plus my Fire Blast would be just fine. And here I'm also... immune to an Unleash of the Hounds, and if he had like another Timberwolf, I'd still be okay. Because, you know, he could kill whatever he wants on the board, and I just Arcane Golem into Fire Blast after I get that extra damage out. Deadly Shot, whatever. You can... Oh, of course it is my best troop. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Okay, so now I'm going to be a little bit tricky. Do the 5, and then, little known fact. Well played. You can Flame Blast your own Leper Gnome for 2 damage. Pretty nice. Hilarious. Well played. Oh, yeah, sorry. Killed my own guy to kill you. It's all good. So yeah, paramount in these rush versus rush matches that you stay ahead on the life lead. Definitely. Excellent.
Jaina versus Anduin.
Okay, well, it can be really tough to rush down a priest, because they usually have a lot of defensive options. Okay, need to get rid of that Nightblade, need to get rid of that Loot Hoarder. Raging Worgen and Sorcerer's Apprentice are 2 pretty good ones. Okay, and a Mana Wyrm. That's pretty good.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Okay, so what's his first turn play? Mind Vision. Ooh.
Greetings.
Okay, so he could have taken a couple of disgusting ones out of my hand there. I gotta go with Mana Wyrm. Yeah, I could coin to Sorcerer's Apprentice, but it's just not going to be good. So I'll do a more defensive option and hopefully coin to Raging Worgen next turn, depending on what he took. So if he like lays down a Sorcerer's Apprentice here, then I could just... another Mind Vision. I'm extraordinarily confused about what this deck does. Okay, so yeah, coin, Raging Worgen, he doesn't have anything on the board, get my 2 damage in. And then next turn, I'd just be looking to light up the Raging Worgen and get some 8 damage in. He probably has a Sorcerer's Apprentice. That's the most likely for at least the second one. So maybe one of those 2 are Sorcerer's Apprentice. The Raging Worgen should pull out a Shadowward Pain if he has it. So let's see. What you got? 3 mana. Not that one. Yeah, this is a pretty scary board position that he's facing down. You know, Raging Worgens scare people. Okay, Imp Master. Okay, that's fine. So I want to get the 8 damage in. Against a healing deck, you've got to get early game damage in. And he can't AoE yet. And then what I'm going to do is take out this Imp with my Mana Wyrm. Because what that means is he'll have to use a card from his hand in order to kill the Worgen. So he'll have to smite. He can't AoE yet. He can't Holy Nova. So he's going to use something here. What's it going to be? Arcane Golem. Okay. That's great. Now I'm at 5 mana. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, he swings in for 1. Does not matter. Okay, so now he's going to have a 1-3 and a 1-1. Let's see what I get. Okay. Well, Sorcerer's Apprentice means that I could play both of my spells this turn. So yeah, Sorcerer's Apprentice, and then I'm going to get rid of this Imp Master, because that's going to get more and more difficult to deal with as time goes on. So yeah, and then I'm thinking Arcane Intellect. I need some card draw, and this puts me at a 3-1. And now, yeah. See, I need the card draw in case he Holy Novas his turn, and that's why I didn't like put out another Faerie Dragon or something. I need to shore up against that. Okay. And a Thought Steal. Okay, now I really have no clue what he's going to be having right now. Okay, and Powered Shield, it's fine. Hopefully he doesn't have a second. That'd be a nightmare. Okay, so hopefully... I'm gonna need to get rid of that. Okay, so I am going to trade off Fire Blast, throw out my Amani Berserker, and my Loot Hoarder. This makes me very resilient to a Holy Nova, because then I draw a card, and I get 5 damage on him next turn. And that's really one of the things you have to set up when you're rushing a priest. You have to set up a bad situation with either the Amani Berserker or the Worgen, to the point where they... Oh, that's fine. I'll just trade off my Loot Hoarder and Fire Blast. Oh, okay, and he pulled an Arcane Intellect with one of those. So that's all 3. Well, no, you should have 1 more. But, ooh, perfect. Okay, so now Mana Wyrm. Let's Arcane Missiles. And yeah, I want to cast that for 0, so I'm going to throw out the Sorcerer's Apprentice, and let's see what kind of a spread we get. I may have to trade off my Loot Hoarder. We'll see. 2, 3... 2 hits. Fantastic. Now Fire Blast, and then I'll just keep everything on the board. Obviously here, he'd take out everything but my Mana Wyrm and my Amani Berserker, but then my Amani Berserker would be a 5, so even if he Holy Novas here, I'm very well protected. And looking to win, because, obviously I've got an Arcane Golem in hand. He just had to spend 3 mana to get rid of my Mana Wyrm, which is great. Now he's down to 2. 8. Easy. Yep. Well played. So yeah, setting up a very aggressive board position and making sure to protect yourself against AoE is the way you have to play those long-term healing decks. Because there, he started with Mind Visions because he was going to play the long game. But you just don't give him that chance. You just smash him out. So as you can tell, this Budget Mage deck helps you finish your dailies blazingly fast and gives you a fighting chance against decks with superior card quality. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please take the time to subscribe to my channel and let a friend know about the deck. As always, I'm MSB, wishing you good games and good times.